Hi everyone, my name is of course Louise and welcome to everyone for joining us as part of our Homegrown 2020 series, Championing Change and Inspiring Women to Lead. And today we are very lucky to be joined with the amazing Gina Cambridge, who is based in Thames, New Zealand, so very close to where I'm located in the wonderful, would you call yourself in the Hauraki as well?
I say Coromandel Peninsula.
Around the Coromandel. Beautiful place in New Zealand to be based. Gina is a passionate traveller. She is the vision behind Gina Does Wanderlust and Wanderlust Solo Women Tours, which we will of course hear a bit more about soon. And Gina, as I mentioned before we jumped on here, thank you so much for joining me and for sharing some of your time and your energy for those that are following our series throughout the year. I am, of course, really excited to hear more about your story. We've spoken a little bit about how it kind of all started to transpire. So I'm looking forward to hearing it a bit more detail. And of course, being able to share not only your business journey, but your life journey with other women out there who are either going through something similar and decide, stuff it, I'm going to actually go out there and do something that I want to do with my life. All those women who have started that journey and they're feeling challenged, they're needing a bit of inspiration to kind of keep them going through to the new year and beyond. So that is, I guess, a little bit about you, and I will stop talking and hand it over. So Gina, first off, I would love it if you could share with us a little bit about, who you are, not only your business, but also, I guess a bit of background about you.
Yeah. Well, kia ora, and thank you so much for having me here. It's just awesome to be part of this series with you and to share, my life experiences and how I've ended up where I am. My story is probably quite familiar to many women. I don't have any kids, but I did the whole, worked, saved, got a house, got a business, had the partner, and was building a dream lifestyle block and my dream home, and and it all pretty much just went to shit overnight, to put it bluntly. I found myself, my partner left me for someone else. I was 36. It really kicked me in the guts quite a bit, and as a lot of women out there probably know how relationship breakups can affect you. I ended up buying my partner out, so financially it was a huge strain as well. And I struggled along with because we were actually building at the time, so I finished the house also. I had a business at the time too, struggled along probably for a good 6 years, and then I had a whirlwind romance with an old school friend in Thailand actually, and I came back and went, what the hell am I doing? And that was sort of a catalyst for change for me, and I sold up everything. I bought actually a little house in Waihi because I couldn't afford much, so I still had a mortgage, but I had a little bit of money left to pay for my mortgage for probably a good 6 months, and I had literally no money, but I booked myself a one-way ticket to Paris for my 40th birthday, and that's pretty much how Gina Does Wanderlust and Wanderlust Solo Women Tours came about. And I spent the next 8 months traveling around Europe. I did woofing. If no one knows what woofing is, it's not woof off. It's willing workers on organic farms. So you go and volunteer. And I did Workaway, which is a similar thing, and backpacked around Europe, Turkey, and had an amazing transformative experience. And considering my confidence was so low at the time, it actually really built me, and I found out who I was, and that's sort of where my travel journey really started. So I was 40 when that started, so my message probably there is it's never too late to actually start what you're really passionate about. Yeah,
cool. So Gina, would you say that I guess the visions for these businesses or your lifestyle and what you do, so that kind of came off the bat that you started to find or reconnect back with yourself through travel, and then thought, hey, there'd be other women out here and that would be this would be perfect for them? Is that kind of how that all transpired?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, because I think a lot of women, they've got kids, they've got families, they're busy all the time. They dedicate all of themselves to everybody else, And sometimes they sit down and they actually forget who they are, or they haven't connected with themselves or given themselves any time for a very, very long time. And then you have other women, they've now divorced or their kids have left home and they've sort of lost something. So, yeah, it's all about reconnecting and empowering women too, I think is a really good word to use, because I think it really pushes you out of your comfort zone. So it gives you that confidence. And I think that confidence transforms into other areas of your life. Yeah
fantastic. So I guess the women that come on these are small kind of group tours. You get to go away, have a great time throughout different periods of the year, and come back transformed women.
Yeah, like I just came back from Bali with a small group, and about 3 of them were mums of little children, and then some are like do really long hours in their work, and just to go away and literally not have to organise really anything themselves. Any mum out there I know is probably, when you go on holiday, that's all you do. You spend months up to it organising everybody else. When you're away, you're organising everyone and making sure everyone's having a good time, and you actually come back really tired and stressed. So and it actually, to be honest, for some women, it actually takes a couple of days for them just to go, okay, I don't actually have to do anything. I can relax. Yeah, and even on the mini retreat I just had on the weekend, there was one girl on that. It was really funny because she was like, do we need to do this? And do we need to do that? And I was like, it's okay. It's all taken care of. And that's quite something a lot of women don't get to experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Superhuman, we think we are, and putting everyone else first. And then when we have it the other way around, it's a little bit strange. And it's like,
yeah. Right out of our comfort zone.
Yes, absolutely. So you've got your international tours, and then as you mentioned, you've hosted your first mini retreat it was the first mini retreat over the weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Around the Coromandel. So when you're not working, what does Gina's life look like?
Wow. I find it really hard to switch off. So that's something I'm looking at. So I have another job as well, which I call my day job, and my business is my passion job. And also, and I think this is a really relevant point for a lot of women entrepreneurs out there and women starting business, like you've all got families. I haven't got kids, but my mother is diagnosed with dementia. So I spend a lot of time, spending time with her. So I think family really becomes a big part of your whole day as well. So I don't have a lot of free time, but when I do, I really love spending time in the garden with my dog. But my main thing during the day is concentrating on my goals for my business, like building up my email list. I think it's one of the most important things you can do in your business, and sometimes we miss those opportunities to do that. Just keeping on top of social media is a really time-consuming thing too. So that's pretty much my day involves lots of various jobs. I need to be a little bit more focused in each area, and family as well.
Yeah. How do you find juggling all of that? Because I know we can go through peaks and troughs, and balance can exist, and then balance goes out the window, and women particularly can be very hard on themselves because we have gone over in one area or lower in the other, and we're on this crazy cycle of juggling and sometimes dropping different balls and beat ourselves up over it. So how do you go about trying to remain balanced or being kind to yourself if there is a little bit of a lack of balance?
That's a really good question, and it's actually something we brought up on the mini retreat on the weekend. Is what do you do, what's a ritual you do for yourself? Like, where do you give yourself time? Because I think the reality is we all become really overwhelmed. I don't think anyone, to be really blunt, has got 100% got their shit together. We're all we all have different struggles. So I think the most important thing is to acknowledge that, and acknowledge that, okay, I might not be perfect, I'm not doing it perfect, but it's getting done. And trying to make time for yourself, and the biggest thing there is not feeling guilty about it. Taking time out for yourself and not feeling guilty about it is a big goal.
Absolutely. And I think realizing that the world doesn't end if you don't tick one box on the to-do list.
Yeah.
It's a long time to learn that. I think I really thought the world would fall apart if I didn't do everything, which ultimately my world did fall apart because I was doing everything, and then had to, of course, understand that it's okay, you know, if you don't do one little thing or two things, you just do what you can do, and that's all you need to worry about.
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's cool. So you've obviously had some life challenges which turned into being able to start a bit more of a purposeful based business, which I love. And as you and I both know, so for anyone out there who hasn't quite turned their idea into a business yet, the reality is not quite as glamorous as what we all think it's going to be. There are a lot of challenges that come along the way when we go from passionate traveler to business owner who has got travel involved in a business.
Yeah.
What would you say, I guess, maybe has been one of the biggest challenges that you have faced over your journey of business owner?
For me personally, I think it's marketing is a really hard one. I mean, we're very lucky to have Facebook and Instagram now. I mean, they're great platforms for startup businesses. I think they're amazing, but getting the momentum behind your business and getting your name out there and all that sort of thing is a real, big goal. So that's sort of one challenge where I just want to diversify just off social media, because there's so many people that aren't on social media, even though I love it. So yeah, that's probably been one of my biggest challenges.
Yeah. And I think, that's a really great to highlight because, I know for myself when I started my business, I came from coaching and corporate. So I knew I didn't know anything to do with marketing, and I knew I wanted it to be an online business. And so I knew I had a lot of work to do. But I don't think I recognized at the time that it's not a 1 month, 2 months, 6 months journey. It is, it is a 1 year, 3 year, 5 year journey to build that presence and to build the reputation and to build the brand. And so not only, and this is something I'm very passionate about with my clients as well, is that don't focus just on one medium or one online platform. You know, you've got people, real life people who need your help either with your service or your product. So don't discount that part out, because that part is really powerful to your business. And if social media was to no longer exist tomorrow, like I think it was last year when Facebook went down, the world went into turmoil. It's like, although these are major players and they're not likely to be going anywhere, if it was to go down for 24 hours and your whole business relied on it, and you all of a sudden needed massive amounts of income, what would you do? So always kind of having eggs across different multiple baskets. So that's a really important challenge to highlight, that it does take time, and to think of lots of different ways to get your name out there, not just the one, and solely rely on it. Yeah, thanks. So what would be one key piece of advice to say one of our listeners or viewers out there who is thinking about starting their own business in today's world?
Well, probably the first one is get really clear on your why. Like, why are you doing it? What is your goal? What do you want to, what is the value you want to give to someone else? So that encompasses, what is your why, and also, do you want to do it to have a better lifestyle for you and your family, or are you doing it, what are your reasons for it? And really, refine it right down to the real basics of why you are doing it and what it is. Be clear on what it is you want to give your clients.
Yeah. Awesome. And how about someone out there who has taken the plunge and they're learning that the learning curve is steep, and, and I guess kind of questioning, am I really cut out for this? What is the long-term vision of this look for? And, I know that we've all thought it once or twice, it would just be easier to work in a full-time job without all these challenges and go back to a normal life.
Yeah.
And some do, and others are crazy enough to keep on going. So what would be your advice to someone who's in that place and, I guess, is looking for that little bit of inspiration to continue to keep going?
Keep the faith. Believe in yourself. and make sure you're feeling aligned with what you're doing. Because I think as women, we have a really good intuition. And, there's been times where, I haven't quite achieved what I thought I was going to achieve with what I set out to do, but I felt very aligned with it. So I've kept going, and that's one thing I think I'm very clear on. I feel really aligned with my business and the message I'm trying to send. So I think, make sure you feel good about what you're doing, and hopefully everything else will just, flow with that. And we all have down moments. So just breathe, go, this is a shitty day, tomorrow's going to be better, and just get stuck into it to the next day.
Yeah, great. Awesome. Thank you. So just a couple, I guess, of final questions. One would be, the purpose of the series is to showcase normal, everyday women, chasing dreams, whether that be in life, business, relationships, wherever it is that they choose, and really being a champion of change and doing that and going against, I guess, the norm. So my question to you would be is, what does being a champion of change mean to you?
I had to, I've really thought about this question a little bit. I think my message for champion of change is, don't let your age be a barrier. I think some women, especially later on in life, think, they've missed out, or it's too late for them to start anything. It's never too late. We can always learn new things. Like, I know how to, I've learned WordPress for my website. I didn't know half the meaning of some of these words when I started, writing a blog. Oh my God, what's writing a blog? It's never too late, and don't ever put a barrier on your age. And I think that's a really good thing to empower women. I think sometimes we think we can't anymore because age is such a label put on women. So that would be my message, that age, don't let that be a barrier for you to start what you're really passionate about.
Yep, love it. And I guess for anyone who listens or watches, this time with you, and I guess it's resonating with your story. Maybe they've just been through something similar and they're wanting to know more about how they can join one of these amazing tours and give back to them. And have, I guess, be transformed through travel. I love travel as well, so I know how transformative it is. So either watching because they're interested in more about, what you do in business, or maybe they just resonated with your story and are looking for a little bit of advice. How would someone go about reaching out to you to learn more?
Yeah, well, they can contact me. I'm pretty contactable. It's pretty good on Google search. So it's Wanderlust Solo Women Tours website, and also on Facebook it's Wanderlust Solo Women Tours, or you can find me, it's Gina Does Wanderlust, which is me, and on Instagram it's Wanderlust_momentum, but all of them, all those platforms cross-link, so you pretty much, and just flick me a direct message if you want. I'm happy to give you any travel advice. If you want to join me on a tour or retreat, that would be awesome. But all about being here and actually just supporting you as well. If you want to know anything about travel or just taking that first step to doing something like that, I'm just a message away. So happy for you to contact me anytime.
Cool. Well, Gina, thank you so much, for being very open about your journey. Although it didn't happen yesterday, obviously, you've been through the journey of it. I think we can all relate where we've taken a step in life, taken a bit of a trust, and then the universe has gone, actually, no, you're meant to go the other way, which can be an overwhelming experience. And I know that, myself, as well as others included out there, can definitely resonate, with an aspect of that. So thank you for sharing that. And thank you for, sharing the reason behind you do what you do because of that experience. It's really, inspirational, and obviously helping women through the changing periods, not only being a champion of change yourself, but also helping women through it. So I would just like to say thank you so much again for investing your time and your energy in sharing this. And now that I know that you do more local kind of, kind of retreats, I'll definitely, and seeing as you're so close, I'll have to keep my eyes open.
Yeah.
But I can't wait to, kind of share in the next 12 months of your journey as well and see where it is that you go off to and all the fun things you get up to.
Yeah, thank you, Louise. Like, I really appreciated being part of the series, and hi to all your clients and viewers out there too.
Right. Well, thank you, and I will talk to you later.
Ciao.